Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the after the show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the Tuesday KVJ After the Show podcast. Yeah.
Hello.
Out here.
I like your voice.
You do, yeah. Yeah, I get it. I like your voice too. A lot of fun, isn't it? Got a lot of educational emails. Very fascinating, the stuff about lightning. I mean, you really need to know about lightning here living in South Florida. You really should.
You really should.
And, we're learning about different stuff here. I think it's called Faraday cage or something like that. It's the concept about lightning traveling around your body. If you're in a car, that's basically what it is. And somebody had sent in this text too and said, yeah, that's basically why they say that if you hit a power pole and the line falls on your car to not touch anything, metal in your car, and wait for the line to be removed or the power to be turned off, because the electrical current will continue to flow around your car and not you unless you panic and make the mistake to try and get out of the car. At that point, you become the path of least resistance and you get electrocuted.
I mean, it sounds like the safest thing to do if you have the means to do that is basically make a tire suit.
So be the Michelin Man.
Yeah, you got to be just covered in rubber.
I think you don't want to. It's about the grounding and about it traveling around. So don't get into the flow of it. So electricity's flowing all around me. Let it flow. Don't break that flow. If you put yourself in the path of the flow, then you're in trouble. That's what it's all about.
Let it flow, Virginia. Let it flow like a UFO.
Mm-hmm. And Engineer Keith had sent in an email. He said, so technically anything that has electrons can conduct electricity. Not everything conducts electricity well, and some materials require a ludicrous amount of voltage to conduct it. In the case of lightning, atmospheric conditions generate ludicrous amounts of voltage, which is enough to conduct through the air, which is considered an insulator. So are tires enough to keep you safe? Well, it depends upon the conditions, but probably not. If there's enough voltage to conduct through the air, what are tires going to do? The good news is that the chassis of the car should protect you as it conducts electricity much easier than the human body. However, if you're physically close to metal that's actively conducting lightning, you might get some through you on its way through the car to the tires. That's why you stay out of the path. So think about where electricity is flowing should your car be struck, and stay out of that path. It's going through all the metal and everything.
Yeah, Virginia's brain just broke.
Well, now I'm just making a plan for when I hit that power pole and the lines are on my car. Don't get out of the car. Resist the urge to flee the scene.
The curious cat in me is going to want to explore and touch wires.
And your first instinct is to get away from the wreckage.
This is troubling. Let's get out of this.
Right.
Do not. Yeah, I think you're best to just sit there. I think you could use your phone to call 911, I would think, because that'd be in your pocket. That still wouldn't be in the flow of the electricity, but yeah, I wouldn't like turn your key if you have a metal key in the ignition to turn it off. I just sit there, don't have, even if it's a great song, resist the urge to crank up the voltage.
Don't put on heavy metal.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't do that anyway.
All the kind of things that you should do, stay away from it. So, yeah, very, very interesting information. Okay, let's see. We got some other good information here today. One that could help you out, Virginia, as you're looking for a possible pet for your youngest son, Rocco.
The Hamster Chronicles.
Yeah, somebody sent a whole list of hyperallergenic pets that you can get if you got allergy issues. Get a skinny guinea pig, a Sphinx cat, or a Chinese crested dog. They're all hairless and amazing pets.
She won't get any of those. I'm going to predict right now there's going to be no pet. I think if you do get a pet, it's going to be something that's going to be low maintenance. Extremely low maintenance. Kind of like a goldfish that dies in 3 days. It's good for a weekend.
Yeah, I kind of think after hearing all these stories, fish might be the best way to go.
And if you get it at the cheapest fish store possible, you're probably looking at a week long of a situation here.
So you want a fish with a short lifespan.
I think you get a lot of times you get one anyway.
I had one that was alive forever as a goldfish. I remember there's Bubba Cheech and Chubba Chong were my two goldfish. And I remember this one lived so long, he just started kind of falling apart.
Aww.
And I don't mean but it just like parts of his body were just falling off. And I was like, I looked at him one day and like his tail's gone. I'm like, oh my, this
Bubba.
I'm like, die already.
That's fucking tough to watch as a kid.
Oh, it was terrible.
Shit, it's tough to hear about it as an adult.
Yeah, he wouldn't die. He just, it'd be like, imagine if Grandpa's arm fell off.
It's rough.
I'm like, Grandpa, my gosh, your arm.
You're like, throw the towel and you've had enough.
Oh, I'm like, geez.
He can't throw the towel in. He doesn't have an arm.
Like, his fucking fins are falling off and everything.
It's
Shit.
terrible. I just had to watch this thing deteriorate right before my very eyes.
That story's in this. I'm going to think about that at least 3 more times tonight.
Yes.
You're right, though. There are some goldfish that hang on for a long time. A lot of them die
Couldn't
quick.
believe it, yeah.
A lot of them die quick, but there's always 1 or 2 fuckers that hold on.
I feel like maybe I just took too good a care of them.
Maybe.
I don't know what it was. Some people suggesting a bunny.
They are adorable.
They are adorable.
Well, Panda said he grew up and he had bunnies, and he said they're in the same world as hamster, where they're stinky.
I could see that.
But life is stinky sometimes. You know, life is stinky until it's not. So just
What the hell does that mean?
Just let it marinate.
I don't want to have to be cleaning up after these rodents because I got the allergies. I can't be touching furry friends.
Here's the thing, too. If she's bitching at home, that means she's bitching at work. And that means we're going to have to hear about, fucking ham.
Yeah.
All right, you're right. No hamster.
And then if I get really upset with the hamster, then all of a sudden I just bring it to Jaybird's house.
And I will.
And now you have a hamster.
Heavy Heart Pennington will take it, too. Because I'm like, fuck, I got to take care of this hamster now, which I didn't want.
Yeah.
But I'll end up falling in love with it.
Oh, cuddling.
I will.
We're asking the question right now on the KVJ Show Facebook page about the dumbest question somebody has asked you at work. Amber said, when as a bartender, a customer comes in and says, I'm going to have a vodka and Sprite. And I'm like, okay, not a problem. What kind of vodka do you want? They're like, Bacardi. Okay, so you want rum, not vodka? And literally not possible to make a vodka and a Sprite with it. And the customer's like, did I say vodka?
I'll tell you, vodka, I think, would go real nice with the Fresca.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would.
I'm all into this Fresca right now. I'm trying to watch a couple of the pounds.
Is that, what does that do? Is they got sugar in it? What do they do for that?
It's got 0 of total fat,
0 taste.
0 total carbs, 0 protein. It's got 2% of
What's-
sodium.
What's the sugar say? What do they have?
It says, fuck sugar. We ain't got none of that.
Yeah, because either they do like the stevia, which is the more natural, or they'll do chemicals. And so,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's terrible for me.
yeah, so I've been having a little bit of the Sprite Zero lately, which is more chemicals. Probably shouldn't, but I typically will drink the Zevia that has the stevia in it.
Whatever. Something gonna take me out. Let me enjoy. I mean, if I am dancing with the devil with a fucking Fresca, shoot me in my heart right now.
You, my friend, need some vodka in your
He
Fresca.
does, doesn't he?
A little
I
wild
know, right?
tight.
Passionate, baby.
Teresa said the dumbest thing that I got asked by a customer was 4 a.m. and they came in. They said, "Hey, what time do you close?" They're like, "We're open 24 hours." Maybe they didn't realize that. Maybe.
Yeah, people have brain farts.
It happens.
Yeah. There you go. So let me see. There's a lot of those. If you got one you want to share, you can jump on it. Got an email here from our dispatcher in the acreage and just saying, hey, I saw you guys ask for that, and I'm an FHP dispatcher, and just want to let people know, you dumb customer thing. You'd be shocked how many people call FHP thinking like we're like roadside assistance, like we're AAA.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you want us to come pick you up to go have you get a spare tire, or, you know, you ran out of gas. That's not what FHP does. So we don't bring you free gas.
if you are lucky enough to have one of those road rangers come by while you're broke down, those guys are awesome. And they do that. And a couple of those road rangers are big KVJ fans.
I got pulled over by an FHP, and this son of a bitch had a flat top.
Uh-oh.
And holy fuck. Did I get a ticket? What do you think?
Yes.
Yep. I think he doubled it just because.
Did he? Yeah.
Because he's like, you know what? You get the flat top surcharge, young man.
Just for good measure.
Yeah. He was pissed too. I didn't realize I was on I-95. I thought that I honestly did. I thought the speed was 70 at the time. I guess it was 65. I was doing 70, and I drove past the FHP, but I didn't think I was,
Oh, you passed a cop.
And I guess he took it as a slight. He got really pissed off, and he even said the words, "You never pass up an FHP on the road. You never do that." I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Whoa!
And
he's telling you.
I didn't have my shoes on, so I was driving barefoot. He's like, "And where are your shoes at?" And then I looked into it. You don't have to have shoes to drive.
No, you don't. That's an old thing. Yeah.
Fuck that.
You don't have to have shoes.
His flat top was a little too high and tight.
How long ago was that?
That
Last week.
I don't know. Anywhere between 2 years ago and 20. Between somewhere. It's all a blur after 25.
Hey, baby, you can kiss my ass. I don't have to wear shoes anymore. Oh, this is kind of interesting. They're talking about how teenage workers are in high demand this summer because, nobody wants to go back to work. There's that worker shortage that you've been hearing so much about.
Yeah, it's the reason why if you're getting like fast food or anything like that, you may notice that it's taking you longer to get help. Everybody there is brand new. They just hired them, and there's not a lot of them.
Right. So they say this is a great summer for teens because they're getting a pick of more job availability and even better wages.
I think Mags is going to go work at a place in Jupiter called Sweet Frog.
Oh, yeah. Is that the ice cream place?
Yeah.
I love that. I've been in there many times.
Nice.
It's one of those serve yourself kind of froyo.
Yes.
With like 87,000 different toppings.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's wanting to work there.
Froyo. All right.
It's good. They got that tart. Oh, I love tart.
Tart?
Oh, it's so good.
Fat Kevin, you buying that? Froyo better than ice cream?
No, I like the ice cream better, but
All right. I'm talking to Fat Kevin now.
yeah, Fat Cat went all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fat Kevin needed to eat froyo instead.
Yeah, he did. He realized that later on.
You leave my Fat Kevin alone.
You could use a little froyo too.
Fuck this. What the fuck?
I know, right?
Now we're going after the stomach now. Holy shit.
Right.
Well, you want to Botox it out?
I'm just kidding.
I get it. I get a little weight. I'm working on chicken fresca.
I'm making sacrifices.
I was reading an article that I found to be kind of fascinating. Amazon jobs. You ever talk to anybody that worked for Amazon? Do they love it? Do they hate it? What is it like working for Amazon?
I don't know. I hear people online bitching about it.
Yes. Well, this is what I found to be kind of interesting in this article as I was reading. I never knew about it. I'm very fascinated with Jeff Bezos because the one thing that I know he'd really put forward was customer service. And I've heard about his meetings, and he has like an empty chair, and he said, that's the consumer. He said, what would make this even more awesome, more convenient for you? And that's how they really broke it down. So they cared about customers. But the interesting thing, according to this article, is Bezos really didn't give a shit about his workers.
Damn.
And he wanted to create the world's most efficient company. And there was a reason behind, I guess, in a sense, a logical dick in this. Bezos discovered what he thought was another inefficiency worth eliminating, and that was hourly employees who spent years working for the same company. He didn't want that. Because what Bezos found out through the research is longtime employees expected to start receiving raises, which cost more money. They also, as the years go on, become less enthusiastic about their work. You ever seen somebody gets jaded in their job?
Sure.
And they found out that they became a potential source of internal discontent because all their bitchiness, they would start sharing down to other people. So you're paying somebody more to bitch about your company that is affecting the culture of it. So they would rather bring in somebody new, pay them low, and have them leave. They're like, we don't want you to stay. We want you to work here for a couple of years and get the hell out.
Damn. So treating people like crap is kind of the business model.
Yeah, so Amazon has actually encouraged employee turnover turnover.
Damn.
After 3 years on the job, hourly workers no longer receive automatic raises, and the company ordered bonuses to people who would actually quit. They're like, if you leave, we'll pay you to get the hell out.
Really?
They also offered limited upward mobility for hourly workers, preferring to hire managers from the outside. If they wanted anybody to go into management, they would get them from a different company, not from inside Amazon.
Huh.
Which I think is different than a lot of other places. I think Chick-fil-A really likes bringing them in and then promoting from within. Amazon, completely different. They're like, get in, work, get the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon may be saving money, and that's why Mr. Bezos is so rich. But Chick-fil-A has better employees, and it's a pleasure to go in there.
Yeah, but I guess somehow they're able to keep the customer satisfaction high. And I would assume if you work for Amazon, you probably are saying, I don't necessarily love it. In fact, they say turnover at Amazon is much higher than at many other companies, with an annual rate of roughly 150% for warehouse workers. And didn't we hear that during COVID? Warehouse workers were bitching about their conditions?
Yes, they were.
So I guess people hate working for Amazon.
Huh.
But they say that it kept efficiency high and wages fairly low, which made for a profitable Amazon. Profits soared. The company was on pace to overtake Walmart as the nation's largest private employer, and Bezos became the world's richest person. All because of these shitty hiring and
The
firing
shitty
practices.
way you treat people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these rich people, they've shit on a lot of little people.
I guess so. And they said that because of where the American worker is right now, they didn't really have a lot of better options. So what are you going to do? You go over to Walmart and they treat you like shit too. So where else are you going to go? You're going to stay at one place or the other. They're going to treat you like crap.
Didn't your boy Steve Jobs, wasn't he a fuckface with his employees too?
They kind of made him look that way in some of the documentaries I saw.
You talked to that one guy, Wozniak or Woz or whatever?
Steve Wozniak,
I
yeah.
don't think he speaks
They
too
had a
kindly.
falling out, yeah.
Well, because I think they all helped bring Apple to where it is, and then I think he took all the credit. I think that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. They say, though, as Bezos is about to step down as the chief executive at Amazon, he suggested that he wants to change the workplace culture. So, but the question is people are saying, well, yeah, as you get out, what? We don't want to, like, take on this change in culture. What you've been doing has actually worked. Yeah, people hate working here, but your strategy's been very profitable. Our bottom line looks really good.
Yeah, that's just messed up, though. I mean, I'm sorry. Just going through life knowing that you were awful to all of your employees, and that's how you made your money, by being a dick.
I think that's why he's like now wanting to change
Yeah.
it, because he wants to leave with a clean conscience and a pocket full of cash. And it'll be interesting to see if the people who are taking over for him at Amazon are as willing to change it, or they're going, look, man, and they say that what Bezos showed, many people believe that being a generous employer and having this great culture and people loving the company was crucial to being successful. But Jeff Bezos showed that that's not the case.
I think long term it is the case, but he doesn't care about the long term.
Yeah. Who knows?
And look, he's getting out and he's speaking regretfully.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of curious if people who have worked for Amazon, would you say that, yeah, this place sucks and Bezos is terrible and I hated it? Because it sounds like that really was kind of the plan.
Damn.
Get in and get the hell out.
Bezos is cold.
Cold, right? That's crazy. I know Jaybird's been looking at the Chrissy Teigen stuff that's been going on here. It's kind of interesting because, you know, she used to be really nasty to people, and then she started getting on people who were nasty, and then people started digging up how she had been nasty, and now she's lost a lot of sponsorships, and she's really doubling down and trying to apologize as hard as she can.
She's always annoyed me because of all that. She would say one thing and then cry victim on the other, and it doesn't line up. And I don't.
Well, the thing about Chrissy is when she first started getting active on Twitter, she wanted to be taken as a comedian. She wanted people to read her tweets and think that she was really funny, really edgy, really biting, and had like this comedic talent.
I get all that, but the private messages about killing yourself, where's the punch? That's not comedy. And the other thing too is, it seems like every time she tries to apologize, there's going to be new stories that come out.
Yeah.
She's done.
There's more. I think every time they get a new person talking about their DMs with Chrissy, it's going to be bad.
You can't be that fucking mean to people.
Yeah, I think that's why she's emphatically apologizing this new time. She said, there is simply no excuse for my past horrible tweets. My targets didn't deserve them. No one does. So she's trying to lay out that hard apology.
And right after that, a new person came forward with screenshots. I mean, that apology dropped, and then the dude from is it Project Runway or
yeah, he was
of
a
the
designer.
He went to Instagram, and his story's pretty fucking intense, man.
Well, the question is if she's apologized and recognized that all that bad stuff, if it's an old tweet, do you say, well, that is where she was. Let's try to take her for who she is. And is she repenting and turning away from her bad behavior? Does she deserve another chance?
She's going to have to sit on the bench for a little bit.
I love giving people. I find her very annoying, but I also like to give people a second chance. She said some pretty horrific shit, because you just have to look at. There's been people who've taken a really bad career hit for less than what she said.
Right, he's right.
It seems like, and this will probably be the argument that we have years to come about the whole canceling thing and sitting on the bench and all that crap, is people who did certain things, and did they get the same kind of treatment? Morgan Wallen said the N-word. He's starting to get a little bit of radio airplay back. It'll be interesting seeing this next year if he can come off the bench and join the rest of the kids again on the playground.
He's had too many people come out and defend him.
Yeah.
A diverse amount of people come out publicly and said, he made a mistake, he's my friend. He's going to be back.
It seemed like he's getting a year-long timeout.
Well, it's going to be less than that. They're already playing his stuff. He's already releasing new music. It's been less than a year. It's going to be less than a year for him. By the end of summertime, I think you'll hear his music on radio.
When did he drop those that nasty word? Do you remember when that was? That happened? Was that what, 4, 5, 6 months ago?
Maybe 4 months
About
ago.
4 months ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Okay. All right. So I wonder if he's going to be the standard for, if you drop the N-bomb and you're a white guy, this is how long you got to sit on the bench.
I mean, in every incident, not just if you're using the N-word, but just any incident where the public is going to judge you for something that, oh my gosh, what have you done? What are those sentences going to be?
Right, because all of them are different. You know, you got Chrissy Teigen, that hers was being nasty and bullying people. You know, it wasn't using any kind of racial slurs.
And look, but she was telling people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Go kill yourself.
So how long are you on the bench when you told somebody on a tweet to go kill themselves?
See, Teigen technically she's canceled with the corporate world. That's all that means.
Yeah.
You can still go out and do shit. You can be a stand-up comedian. You can have your own podcast. The corporate world doesn't want that kind of shit. They don't want any kind of scandal, so they're going to back out whether they think it's bad or not. Like, you know what? Fuck it. This is too much of a scandal.
Yeah.
She can still do a podcast. Now,
She just won't have any sponsors.
will anyone sponsor
Right.
her?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be less kind of sponsors she's going to get.
And go be Target.
No, it's not going to be the big dogs.
No, it'll be, some low budget.
Fred's Bargain Barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Hart is speaking out against the cancel culture. He said, last I checked, the only way you grow up is from effing up. I don't know a kid who hasn't effed up or done some dumb stuff.
I mean, I agree with that, too.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be balance with all this stuff.
Yeah.
It can't just be off with your head with every single incident. I think you need to look into everything and consider where everything's coming from.
Yeah. One person who maybe is taking her scandal from a very long time ago and turning it into something lucrative, that you were talking about, Monica Lewinsky. She has got a new production that's coming to FX that she is going to be doing. You're talking about that in the Dirt.
Yes.
Earlier,
a little
Virginia.
Development deal.
Yeah, it is. She's got a production deal with the 20th Century Fox, Impeachment, American Crime Story. She's going to be a hands-on producer for that. And it's set to premiere September 7th on FX, which apparently is owned by Disney.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is kind of interesting, yeah. So she's going to be in the Disney family. I did see some people that were mentioning that, and they said that's just kind of odd. Can you imagine Monica Lewinsky? And if you don't know from back in the day, she basically blew the president of the United States. Is what it was, and there was a stain on a dress.
And then he lied about it.
Yeah.
I did not have sexual relations. Can you believe it?
Bill, a blowjob is sexual relations.
Yeah, I know. Really?
And it was more than one time, right? I think there was
I think it was an ongoing little
There was a
affair.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. She thought, of course, it was going to be more than it ever really was going to be, but
Yeah.
he let her on.
Yeah. So I saw there was a thread on social media. They're talking about how funny it is that Monica Lewinsky now has got a production deal basically with Disney.
There's definitely a population that stands up for her.
Yeah.
And says, you know, that
Well-
they have her back.
And there's some truth to that because she was a young girl
How old
taken
was she?
advantage of.
26?
She was an intern. I don't think she was 26.
I think she's like 25, 26.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
still. An older married guy with all this power comes in and romances you.
I think anybody with any kind of equation, when you're an adult and you are messing with anybody, I think you're both at fault. I don't think if you're married,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be cheating on your wife or your husband. And if you are a person that's going to go into a married situation and fuck all that up, I think you're wrong as well.
Yeah. So the question was, if you were going to take an already established Disney movie and put Monica Lewinsky in it, what would the title of that movie be? Some of the suggestions: Snow White Spot, Slurping Beauty, Honey, I Drunk the Kids. Oh, that's disgusting. And the number one title was Cumbo. That's so gross.
That's just gross. But
That's so
What, the
gross.
word
Awesome.
combo is gross?
Cumbo.
it's awesome.
What?
That poor elephant.
That poor elephant. That's crazy. So there you go. So that's good that she's getting some work. Florida is a fun state. They say that Florida is the second most fun state in all of America. Not surprised. What do you think is number one?
The most fun?
Most fun, yeah, because they're looking at weather, attractions, fairs, state parks, amusement parks, fitness centers, quality of beaches, scenery, and restaurants and bars. And I think Florida is actually, I would put it at number one, not at number two. It's at number two.
California is number one.
California's number one, and I think Florida's more fun than California.
The weather is a little bit better in California, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
It
It's
is
way better.
because they don't have the humidity, but at the same time, I don't think that I think Florida's more fun. I think Miami's a more fun town than Los Angeles.
I love Florida. If you're not from Florida and there's some kind of a national news story going on in Florida, people give us such the business. I was reading it over the weekend. People think Florida is so fucking dumb. They do. They all
We get a lot of interesting cats here.
And then it was a thread of 50 people just ripping on Florida. And then one Floridian commented trying to defend Florida and then got tackled by everybody else.
What do you think is the least fun state?
New Jersey. No, I'm just kidding. There's fun stuff to do. I'm being such a bitch when I say that. I'd imagine one of the Dakotas, right?
It is not one of the Dakotas. It's West Virginia.
Dang.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Yeah, it's terribly boring.
That's where your people are from.
Yeah, my family. My parents are both from West Virginia. My grandparents were there. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. I grew up right on the West Virginia border. And gosh, it was boring. Yeah, there's really nothing to do. They don't have a city that is anything fun to do. The only fun thing to do is go to West Virginia University and go to a football game and burn a couch.
I feel like Logan, Ohio, the two things you do: fuck and you fight.
Yeah.
And
You
drink.
Yeah, there
And
was.
pray.
You would. Yeah. No, you would. That's about it.
Fuck, fight, pray, and drink.
Sounds terrible.
The drinking sounds pretty cool. The fucking part's awesome.
Yeah, that was about really all there was to do. There wasn't a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't think really of any amusement parks that they have or any fun places to go in West Virginia. So, yeah, other than going to a Mountaineer football game, there is nothing going on.
Yeah, I mean, after football season, you're like, shit, what do I just do? Masturbate?
Well, that's why they go hunting. I mean, it's hunting, it's four-wheelers, it's some of them, man, they love getting out in the woods.
Well,
Some people love it, but if you don't love just going and getting lost in the woods, if you don't like hunting, fishing, that kind of stuff, it is miserable, and I didn't like any of that stuff.
Well, I couldn't believe what a culture difference it was just going. It was still in Florida, my freshman year, Marianna, Florida. I always talk about it, about 7.5 hours away, and it was like a different state up there. It was not South Florida. It was hunting, and holy fuck, look at that deer.
Yeah.
And that deer's kind of hot. I mean, it was a lot of...
Yeah,
You're a
that's
fancy fucker from Palm Beach,
Right.
aren't you?
You either were a crackhead or you were a fancy fuck from Palm Beach. It was one of the two.
Yeah. Well,
To
and
them.
the other thing about West Virginia, too, it's very poor. Just kind of being in that area. There were a lot of people. Some people I know growing up, they didn't have indoor plumbing. That was like not a joke.
So what they do is go outside and...
Yeah, you had outhouses.
I know what an outhouse is. I don't know the upkeep of an outhouse.
It's a hole in the ground, and in fact, at the farm, my grandma's farm, they had an outhouse there. They had just gotten indoor plumbing, I think, in the 80s, early 80s.
That's big.
Something like that, yeah.
So
and
when you go poop out there, you just leave it out there and let nature do its thing? Or do you have
it's a hole in the ground. It would be like a little wooden kind of little shed. It looks like a porta potty.
I mean, I'm
You go in there,
familiar.
yeah, and then it was made out of wood, and you would sit on it. It smelled god awful, and you would just sit on the wooden. I think they actually had put a regular toilet seat out there, and then you'd sit on that and just do your business down into the hole.
Wow.
How gross old timey stuff must have been back in the day without
repulsive.
air
Terrible.
conditioning outhouses.
The problem you think about now, the thing about it is, in the winter, it could get really cold. It could be below zero, and if you had to pee or poop, a lot of times you'd have to go either outside, or they would have kind of like a bedpan that you would have inside your room.
That's just not.
My one grandparents had that, where you would,
Really?
yeah, you pull out the pan, you just shit in that, take it out in the morning. I'm like, that's terrible, man. That ain't living, y'all.
I ain't down for this.
That
dog.
ain't living.
No, I do not want anything to do with that.
No,
'Cause there's
country living is hard as hell.
Just by pure numbers, somebody is going to take a shit and not feel like taking it out right then and there and leave it on the side of the bed or something.
Yeah,
And it's going to be
but
poop living
That's
room.
why they were hardcore. Like, you couldn't, my son Cannon, he won't clean up after himself for anything. It drives me freaking crazy. If he was leaving just, pans of his shit all over the place. That's why country folks are hard on their youngins, because it's like, you got to get that outside, man.
Well, you ever see those old timey pictures from the 1800s, early 1900s? Everyone looks
Dirty and sad.
mad, sad, and you find out they were only 21. I think life just fucking hardened them and toughened their faces up, man.
Yes, they were tough as hell people, but
They had 9 kids. They looked like they had been through the fucking mill, and they were, my 23rd birthday today.
you looked at all of my family photos, and there's not one person smiling in any of them. There's not one damn smile in any family photo ever.
They didn't have anything to smile about.
There's nothing to smile about. No one was happy.
But if you took pictures of his family after they got the real bathroom, smiles galore.
Shitter equals smiles.
Of course it does, man. No one
Yes.
wants to shit in a bedpan.
No, it's terrible. It's not living. It's really not living. So, yeah, there you go. So I get it. Some of the other states that they had there, West Virginia, number 1, Mississippi, 2, Delaware, Arkansas, and Rhode Island. That's your top 5 least fun states in America.
I mean, what the shit's going on in Delaware?
Not a lot. I've driven through it, and it didn't look like there was a lot going on
Like,
there.
what is there?
Well,
Nothing. I don't think there's really anything there. It's very small, and I think that's the only defense. You zip through it very fast. The only good thing is that I think I was going up through like Virginia Beach in that area, so you're not too far from your DC and stuff like that. So if you wanted to do something, you're not too far of a drive.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember in the movie Wayne's World, they make fun of Delaware. They're doing the green screen stuff. Like, hey, we're in Italy. But we're here. Hey, we're in Delaware. Cool. What's going on
Yeah, I
in
just
Delaware?
don't. There's nothing that jumps to mind. So yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, is Delaware even known for a food? Every state's got a food. What are they eating in Delaware?
I don't know. I think that they're known for the mud hen.
What?
Those mud hen burgers?
I thought so. Yeah, what is Delaware known for? Well, Joe Biden. But
Do you eat a mud hen or do you play with it?
I think it's like a bird.
I know that there's a minor league team, the Toledo Mud Hens, but I don't think that's the right area.
Yeah, that's in Ohio.
Yeah. Do you know the Toledo Mud Hens?
I do. They played the Columbus Clippers.
Okay.
Which was when I was a kid. They were the Yankees AAA. I think they're now the Indians or something like that.
I
But
used
yeah,
to collect minor league hats, and the Toledo Mud Hen hat was always a
they were in
great
that.
find.
Tidewater Tides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Mets organization. Yeah, so maybe they have that, but I don't know what they have. I'm even doing a search, and I'm like, what is special about Delaware? And I pulled it up, and it doesn't say anything.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Not even anything?
They don't even have a sandwich.
I just don't even think there's anything at all special about Delaware.
So is Delaware the worst state out there?
That's funny.
It's not the worst. West Virginia is, but
But West Virginia sounds at least like good people watching.
I
From
don't
your
know.
stories?
I don't know, man. Honestly, the only problem with people watching it in West Virginia is it's more depressing than it is entertaining.
Oh,
It's tough.
All right.
it's
We don't
tough.
want that.
You got a lot of dirty little white kids running around with Kool-Aid stained T-shirts and diapers that hang off because it's too full. It's just,
That's the entire state?
it's a lot. It's a lot
my
of it, man. It's a lot of it. Yeah. I mean, God bless it. It's a beautiful country. They call it almost heaven, but
Almost heaven, except for the people.
oh, they're sweet as pie.
I'm sure.
Sweet as pie, but gross.
I'm only going on your stories, dog. You haven't done a flattering job of making West Virginians sound
I'm
great.
sorry, I'm trying to find the upside of this. It is beautiful. I know my family would be so pissed at me right now. They heard me bad mouthing West Virginia like
Oh,
this.
then break
But you got to shoot it straight.
You guys shoot it straight.
You can't be like, oh, West Virginia's great.
Yeah.
You said it's like heaven, sort of.
It's almost like heaven, but it's boring as hell. That should be their slogan. All right, y'all. Thanks for locking it in here. We will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.